DOA.
Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to the first episode of Dead Air Radio. I'm your host, Steve FLETCH, and I also have a co-host, hopefully more than just this episode, as long as he doesn't bail on me, but Mitch Hartman, salesman extraordinaire for DOA, among other things. How's it going, Mitch?
Great.
Yeah, so far. You'll see. It'll all go downhill real quick. It's been a while since I've done any of this, and, every once in a while, I guess I get the itch to hear myself babble on about crap. So decided to drag Mitch in with me, and he was nice enough to not say no. So how did you get started skating? It's almost like we're going to be interviewing you, which you didn't sign up for, but we can do this. So
yeah, 94, 95, somewhere like that.
First board.
First real board was a Workshop Believe graphic from Sub-Zero.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
You didn't have
I got a used board. Yeah, I got like a shitty SMA Paul Sharp board from some dude in high school that was like a year older than me and that I like thought was super cool. And he gave me a deck, and then I went and like got used trucks and wheels from another guy that skated and like rolled around for a little bit. Yeah, I had some friends that their dad had a gas station in the city, so he knew Shane because Shane was super into cars. So like we were in at Sub-Zero right from the start.
Oh, that's cool. Now, was this Sub-Zero? This was before they sold fake Jordans and fake Dunks, right? This was actually
yeah. This was like
destination.
Yeah, because I guess Real Life came out in '94, and this was like '95, early '95 is when I started going down there.
Was it intimidating going there?
Oh hell yeah,
yeah.
Like it wasn't as weird for me as it was for other people because at least they kind of knew who we were. So they'd like say what's up when we went in, but I was still like a weird, like nervous kid because like all the dudes that we would see in videos that we were like, oh, those are the Philly guys. Like you'd see them there at the shop. Like it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, they ride for the shop, but they're never actually there. Like they were there every day.
I was gonna say like they ride for DOA, but they don't actually ride the boards. No, they were there riding the stuff. But I remember that was like it was a scene. Like that's what was so cool about all of that. I remember, even old 4-in-1s, they'd always have the Phillies. Like you knew Sub-Zero was the shop there.
Yeah, they were always lurking at the shop, and like you never knew when you went in there who you were going to run into. It's cool, like people from out of town that were like staying with Rick or staying with whoever, and you would see them at the shop still.
And did you ever have one of those full board Sub-Zero stickers?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, those
absolutely.
So cool. We would go like if we ever went like later on. I think me and my friends, when we would go to Philly, though, we caught the tail end of it. Like, I think there was already 3 other shops in Philly if we ever went. But I remember going, and it was like, oh, my God, these Sub-Zero stickers. Like, Stevie Williams put these on his board. Like, this is so cool. And then they had the big ones. And
yeah, it went through that weird phase where it was like Sub, and then Shane got super into the motorcycle shit, and he changed the name to MC. I don't know if he, like, owed people money and like declared bankruptcy and reopened it under another name or what the shadiness was, but all of a sudden it was MC for a while. That lasted like a year or so, then it disappeared, and then it became Sub-Zero again.
Yeah.
That was the fake Jordans and weird stuff era. Then they opened a shop in West Philly that like lasted 6 months and closed. Oh, wow. There's all kinds of weird. Then they opened the cafe right across from where the original Sub-Zero was, and they were like making sandwiches and shit.
So funny. I remember going there, and it was the first time I ever saw a shop sell used boards.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like hustle whatever the hell you can in there. They had Savior, whatever they were, but they'd have like 8.5 from Pete Eldridge trading them in, like, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being like, I'm an 8.5, I can get these. But it was just funny with the used boards.
Did a wall of Ryan Nick's yellow boards because he wasn't using them.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, $20 a board. Here you go. I remember getting the first Traffic boards there when they came out. When they were
and
I remember I was so hyped. They were so heavy, but I liked them. I was just happy. Like, this is so cool. I'd go there with my friend Zeb. He rode for him, like in the crap version of it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I told you the story before, but I was there. I happened to go there on like a random weeknight. My mom drove me down to get a board, and it was the night that Rick was explaining what Illuminati was going to be to like Shane and Matt and all those guys that were hanging out in the shop. And I was just sitting in the corner, like pretending to be looking at shit and trying to soak it all in of like, oh, these dudes are leaving New York and starting this new thing. Like, this is insane. And like, not really even understanding what it meant, but just knowing like, no, Rick is New York. Like, that's, because I was still trying to understand it in like team aspect or something,
Right. It's funny too. Like as a kid too, you think like, oh, well, these teams, these guys are pro skaters. They're making millions. They're pros and they ride for this and this is at least that's where my brain would have been. What do you mean they're leaving?
Yeah. And like Matt had just gotten on New York. And then all of a sudden it was like, as soon as he got on and that keys board came out, it's like, oh no, we're starting this new thing. So he's going with us. So it wasn't like a temporary thing.
Did you ever have the keys board?
Oh, yeah, I still have it.
It's 9 inches wide, dude. That is like
it's an 875. Yeah.
There's something. I remember there was one, but I remember we were like, me and my friends, because we were riding 7.5 world boards at the time. It was weird because we'd have the kids who would, buy us would have these big, we had these little boards and we'd always be like, how do you even ollie on that? And it's funny now my board's way closer to that than 7.5. But I remember that was like insane. That board was almost like comically big at the time.
It's funny because I was like splitting time between Philly and down the shore where my mom lived. And the dudes all down there were like super tech. It was like, Omar Alvario and Tony Montgomery and all. So they were like skating 7.5 girl boards and like 48 wheels and all that stuff. And then at home, it was like, well, these guys were all skating 8.25s and 8.5s with 64 first division wheels. Interesting to see like the different dynamics of it.
So where did you fall into that?
Oh, I was riding big ass boards. Like Eastern Exposure 3. I was the full brick setup. I was riding fucking Destructos. Yeah, terrible idea, but at the time.
I remember having Tensors when they came out because I was like, World makes trucks. I was at Tampa with somebody. I wasn't in it, but I was there. And I remember going there and I saw these dudes trading stuff in. So I was like, well, you can just trade stuff in here. And they had a set of Tensors, like sample Tensors there. Somebody must have traded in. And I was like, what do you want for those? I was like, I don't really have money, but I can get you whatever product you need. Because you could just go up to people and buy stuff for like,
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, oh, if you can get us like 2 sets of trucks or something, I'll trade you. And I was like, done. I got yellow trackers and some other colored tracker trucks. And they were like,
amazing.
Oh, they're colored, we'll take them. And they took them. And I had Tensors and they were like the worst trucks. But I was so happy because they were the world trucks with a slider plate.
Yeah, that was later on for me. I definitely rode Tensors when Chris was on Enjoy and World and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember Tensors. Wow, so bad.
Didn't turn.
I had a lot of friends breaking them, but I remember like my trucks were probably so tight I didn't know what turning was. Very linear, just go in a straight line. And but I remember we'd always have ventures too, and that's what I remember working at a shop. The sales reps would come in and they're like, "What's your best-selling truck?" And we're like, "Venture." And he's like, "You guys are the only shop. Everybody else sells tons of indies." And I was like, really? We don't sell any indies. We just sell tons of ventures. And he's like, oh, well, you guys all just ride them and just tell all the kids to ride them. And we're like, yeah, kind of, I guess. And we used to take the colored ventures. They used to have like blue with a blue base plate and red with a red base plate and silvers. And we'd mix all the parts up and put them in the case. So it looked like we had all these colored ventures. I remember the boss like, what the hell are you doing? And we're like, dude, you're going to get more money because of that red base plate on the silver hanger. You can charge a colored price. And he was still like, wow, I don't understand, and people would buy them. So it was pretty cool. Ripped off tons of kids.
One of my first shifts where I was the manager at G-Spot, like the owners and the other managers that were all away at, I think they were with Whistler or somewhere like that in Canada. And I was restocking the truck cabinet because we had like back stock of all the trucks in back, because this is the like skate shop boom where we were selling like hundreds of trucks every day. And I'm restocking the cabinet. I'm carrying like an armful of trucks, and I dropped one through the glass shelving and it shattered the whole thing. Like 2 shelves, just trucks down piled all in the bottom of the cabinet. So I had to call this guy while he's on vacation and be like, I know it's my first night closing, but I destroyed the counter. Well, luckily they had a pretty good buzz on at that point, so it wasn't until the next day that I had to deal with the wrath of it.
I mean, at least it was that. It wasn't like, the door won't lock.
Yeah, that shop was sick, but it was just, one of those things where, of course, the first night they left me in charge and I fucking blew it.
Lesson learned, right? You need these learning experiences, have these real life situations happen, breaking the truck case. It's builds character,
Yeah.
you know? All right, so that was G Spot, best name for a shop ever.
That was great.
Do you think that's a reason that it didn't last as long as other things?
I don't know. They were around for a really long time. I want to say they did like 12 years more, something like that. Because I think they closed in like 2007, 2008, something like that. They were there in the 90s.
We'd always hear of Synergy, so I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yeah, in Conshohocken.
Was that a shit shop?
I was only there once or twice. That's pretty like out of the way for where I lived. Like I didn't start driving till I was like 22. So I
Oh,
was like the bus.
did you live in a city, or was that a...
Yeah. I lived in this. I grew up in the city.
Okay, so you didn't need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I took the bus everywhere. Yeah, it was awesome. It was like summer. I want to say my senior year in high school. SEPTA went on strike for like a month, and then the rest of the summer they all the buses and trains and everything were free. So, dude, we went the most ridiculous parts of the city. Like shit, we would just hop on the train and be like, let's see where it goes, and just go skate. We'd wind up in like sketchy neighborhoods sometimes, but
Always where the best stuff to skate is.
oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, it was like downtown every day that summer because it was free to get there.
So funny. We used to just skate back of these parking lots in the suburbs. Like, well, there was a Home Depot we used to skate at, and it was like every night. I get to the point like where it's kind of like, I hate this, and it was every night for like years. And then we ended up, when they started kicking us out of there, we went to another metal ledge behind. It was a Sears, and we used to go there for another like 2 years. I hated it. So it's cool, like you were in the city skating around doing all this shit, and I'm stuck in a...
But that was like my early high school phase, is like what you're talking about. Like, because I grew up in the Northeast, so I grew up like 10 minutes from that Baldy school.
Okay.
So it's like the city, but it's not really like downtown, but we were close enough that, hop on a bus and you're there. So, but, I mean, a lot of high school was like, oh, we go to the mall and skate behind it, or.
All right. So we're going to take a break, play some songs, and we'll be right back.
When I think of you, my heart remembers all the love we've ever had, all the love we've ever had, just me and you. When I think of you, I remember springtime. That was when we fell in love. That was when we fell in love. Just me and you. Just me and you. Just me and you. Although it was some time ago, I remember yet that very first time when we first met, and I still think of you.
got your mind twisted. Unrealistic wavelength draining all your brain strength, inflicted crosswords puzzling your doubt, questioning your own mental health. Yeah, it's like a maze within itself. Yeah, check the grimy, slimy, criminal individuality, searching for the dark night, lurking in the shadows of the city. Hero with Jiggy, my crime committee, robbing every golf and piggy bank blind. Take a journey through the mind of a red line. Once again, it's the mind bender, 3-time felony offender, demented, brain cemented, mixing the blender, illusion, mass confusion, question mark, clues in what, where, why, who's in, quiz, time to ask yourself who it is, shiesty be you know, underhanded biz, invaded brothers' wigs. Can I live? Corrupting, bringing all the misery and suffering. Pain you couldn't cure with the buffering. Rotating, ridiculous, rapid fire riddle. Back get trapped in the middle of the red line. Hidden gem, there ain't no sequel, not a problem. Big up to all my people, not a problem. The red line. Observe if you will. I'm in my hideout in the back of the hills. I crack a ball, then I quarter by the mill. Co-defendants Johnny Blaze and Bobby Stills. We was blazing Hot Wheels. Turn the corner, you can hear the wheels squeal. On that ass fast was the Batmobile. I can tell by the demon on the grill. This was real. Alley cat screaming. I hear the trash can, garbage everywhere. Money flying out the bags and trying to escape. Hold on with the cape, or else he be headed upstate. It's the red law. Homicide, not a problem. You wanna talk genocide, not a problem. It's the red law. No love. That's love. Stimuli, Kenway. Feel good, don't it? And you flown it.
Alright, so while we were playing some music, we put some questions up on Instagram on the story. Looks like we got a few to answer. This should be close to terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't. Thanks, guys. They're really like setting us up to fail. So this one's from Fuckhand. Why does asparagus make my pee stink? I know who this is, John. John over here. I have no idea. Do we care? Is this something you really?
I don't know. I care.
You care. We can look this up. I mean, there's Google. We can. I think I can Google around in here because I'm actually going to find the answer. Why am I doing this? Oh my God! You know, I was hoping for some skate questions.
No, you get asparagus pee.
Okay, let's see. The main culprit in asparagus is asparagusic acid, which is found exclusively in asparagus. When asparagus is digested, the acid gets broken down into sulfur-containing byproducts, and when you pee, the sulfur byproducts evaporate almost immediately, causing you to smell that unpleasant scent. There we go. John Richardson.
See, you're learning shit on here.
Yeah, this is like the most educational podcast in the universe. We got one more. We have two. This is insane. All right.
Yeah, no one cares about me.
From Connor White, are you guys sponsoring?
No, but I heard there's a gang that's sponsoring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get some signatures on a mini logo.
There you go. Connor, that's a good one for you. Mini logo board. I think those are perfect.
Yeah, he should get on there instead.
He should. He doesn't skate anymore. It doesn't matter. Connor's
washed already.
Yeah, he's already done. He's over it. He peaked. Speaking of that, do you ever know these people that would like want to get sponsored and then they get on like some little shit brand and then they quit. I've seen it out here. Like these P dudes will want to get hooked up and they ride for some little company and they're just like, this is it. I'm sponsored. I got a free board. Like, yeah, I'm done. And then like you never hear from them.
It peaked. They know they're never going to go anywhere else with it.
Yeah. And I think it's just like, all right, did that. Check it off the list. That's really it. 2 questions. One about asparagus and one about sponsoring. Sorry, Mitch. Oh, we got one more. These are such bad questions. Hayden Cole, what happened to Cobra? Oh, well, now because Hayden Cole is the real Cobra.
Yeah, the other Cobra.
I guess we're talking about Chris Cole, the Cobra. Well, he's on zero.
Yeah, he's back on zero.
Promotional videos. He's fine. He's set. Nothing happened to him. You could find him on Instagram.
He came back home.
Oh, zero. Good old Ben Havren. He's on zero flow.
Flow
over DOA Pro. You know, I don't blame him. Oh, God.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Chris in a while. Damn. Yeah, it's been a long time. I think we were supposed to link up the last time I was out in LA and stayed with Kai. And then he bailed on me to go do the 9 Club.
Oh.
Of all fucking things.
The 9, that's big time, man. I remember I was at Love Park one day, and he was there. I think he was on World Industries at the time. And I had a Menace board. This is Joey Surreal. And he was like, he came up to me, and he's like, yo, I had that board. It's sick. And I was like, yeah, it was just something I just didn't like it. And I was like, yeah, for whatever reason, I don't like this. He's like, really? That was like the best board. And I was like, yeah, I don't like it, dude. And I'm just sitting there like, you know, like, nice haircut, dude. But he was like the best skater. He was like amazing.
And he's like the nicest dude. He just doesn't, you know, especially then, like just didn't really know how to talk to people. Like he was always like super awkward.
I don't even think it was that bad. I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't like it. Like, I remember the first time I saw him was at Shred for Mike. And he had like Nike Air Raids on and these huge pants. And he had like this shirt and it was airbrushed and it said Cole and it was a Wu-Tang.
Oh, was it the Cole Tang shirt?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
He had that on. And I remember we were like, who is this little Josh Kalis kid? And he kept Mongo pushing, but he was so good. He could like switch flip back lip on the flat bars.
Yep, but push Mongo.
And, you know, it's funny. When he rode for Monkey Grip, there's a promo. There was like a Monkey board promo. And I was telling somebody like Chris Cole used to Mongo push. Like he even learned to not do it. So you shouldn't do it either. I was telling somebody. And in that video, he does a varial heel flip off of not a vert ramp, but off of a ramp of a loading, like the deck of a ramp. And you see him Mongo push up to it. Like they just didn't cut it enough and you can see it. And I remember I was like, see, he Mongo pushed. Somebody didn't believe me.
I think that's at Ivy Land.
Yeah, there was something. I remember that though. And I was like, man, proof. There you go. I'm not BSing.
Do you know who loved that video? It was Louis. Louis loved that.
Well,
was it? I forget what it was. A Project of a Lifetime.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, the monkey business video.
Hold on, we got another. Oh, we got more questions. These are all coming. Wow, miracles. Well, before we do that, we're gonna cut to a few songs.
Brush your teeth and comb your hair. I was off for all I had to do. My eyes wide open and it became true. jealousy has come around. I followed rules, but they didn't get me far. Didn't get me out of my own backyard. I don't know what will I have to do. With my eyes wide open, and it is true.
Let us milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow. One culture, return of the track slasher. Double doser, Capadonna broadcaster. Striving for perfection. The only way I got my life back was through investing. Devotion, moving my soul toward the skit. Vocabulary coming out my ass like shit. To feed my babies, I gotta fight y'all MCs. This money be getting me high just like cheese in these tracks. I look for all my childhood, make me feel good. So I keep on writing, meditating in the ghetto. Making love, waiting for lost minds to settle. Then I speak out, because we all need the guidance. Deep down inside is where you could define science. My mother told me when I was so stressed out, all you gotta do is just put your best out. And I did it. Milk this cow. Milk this cow. Milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow.
Hold your own, nigga. Razor sharp with the automated blow, nigga. Throwing darts at the dark danger zone, nigga. Capadonna, you know the Steve partner. Wu-Tang, get before the sun.
Yo, new Capadonna is about to exhale, kid. Hold all the phone calls, stop all the mail. Capadonna raised hell, speaking I broke the shell. Seen brothers that fell when I slipped. I had my alibi tight that night. Up in the hill, chiller, y'all get shot. Move away, things are too hot. Look at my spot now. Friends are exiled from close distance. I broke persistence. Every time I step up, I rip raps up. Cool clutch, my words swing around like moon chucks. I sing for big bucks. Never can't quit this rap shit, it feeds my seeds. I could barely breathe, but y'all cats better believe. Keep off your darts are soft while I throw these missiles at the skin tissue. You can't escape, I absorb. Gigantic crowds all aboard. Watch out for city fraud. My darts slam like doors, making it hard for you to get yours. Selfish. Milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow. Milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow.
Hold your own, nigga. Razor sharp with the heart, don't get it blown, nigga. Throwing darts at the chart, danger zone, nigga. Capadonna, you know the Steve partner. Wu-Tang, get before the sun of west.
Milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow. Milk this cow the best way we know how. Park Hill Projects, Chickapow.
Hold your own, nigga. Razor sharp with the heart, don't get it blown, nigga. Throwing darts at the charge, danger zone, nigga. Capadonna, you know the Steve partner. Wu-Tang, get before the sun of west.
Bad birds that fuck nerds.
Huh. Suck a dick up to your hiccup, motherfuckers. The swarm continues, Wu-Tang killer bees. Capadonna, cappuccino, the dynamite. Came to treat the earpiece right. Y'all better recognize and realize. Hot Nick song, playing my position, bitch.
All right, so we're back. We're gonna answer some more questions. Moet Mimosas, favorite DOA rider that's not on anymore. Koki. That's mine. I could honestly say, like, no offense, Ben Haverin, you're very close second, but Koki would be the first one. I could say my least favorite. Do we want to do this one? Was Chris Jada. He was the worst. He was.
Can I say Jimmy, since he won't let us do boards?
Yeah, he would. No, Jimmy would. Jimmy would, but yeah, definitely. I mean, Jimmy's always going to be Jimmy Chung, man. The best. So cool. That's one, like, it's like, man, like, you're going to let me put your name on a board? I can't believe this. You know, it was like a moment of just like, wow, I've peaked already right here. Like, I can't do anything cooler than this.
Did you see those ADI boards he posted the other day
Yeah.
that somebody had? Holy shit.
Well, you know, it's funny, the one there, because when we did his board, when he had the two, we did the two, and one had the stars on it. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I have it.
He was showing
Of course
me.
I do.
Well, this was funny. So Steve Young, he lives in Miami now, but he was on ADI. And or I think they were on ADU, I want to say. I don't know if they carried over from ADI to ADU. There's American Dream Incorporated and then American Dream Unit. It was like coming.
Once it wasn't part of Deluxe, right?
Yeah. And but he's boys with Koki, and Koki was telling me, like, yo, he was on. And I was talking to him, and I was like, he's like, I don't know if it came up or I asked him or he showed me, but he had catalogs from ADI. And I was like, please send me pictures of these. And he was like, yeah, no doubt, I got you. And there was boards in there, and I'm showing Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, I never saw these boards. He's like, these are boards I never got paid for. I already quit. Like,
oh, he told me the same thing about those ones that he posted the other day. He's like, I've never seen those before.
Yeah, and he was like, so with that picture too, that was an old picture, but I know he was like, I hit up the dude because he was like, probably like, I want these boards, and but it was an old picture. Jimmy's on fire.
I definitely skated his boards.
Oh, so did I. I remember I had this green one. It was full dipped, and it had a mantis on it, and I remember sanding the edges because I hate full dip boards.
Yeah.
But I had to get it.
I was such a mark for some reason, the Fairman's 3 video. And it was Jimmy, Maldonado, Kerry, and Bam were like the 4 full parts of it, and Joe Hiddleston made it. And that dude, everything about that video was so good.
Yeah.
Like Maldonado skating to the Misfits, Kerry skated to the Cranberries. There was some crazy shit in there.
Yeah, dude, but I remember we were all like about Jimmy's part, and we're just like, this is amazing. Like, and it was like, he has like tech Pumas on and they look cool. Like, how does this dude do this?
Yeah.
And remember, he had like, his part was like not even a minute, right?
Yeah, it was super short to like weird like video game music. He said he was like done skating at that point. Like, I don't even know if he was skating when that came out.
Yeah, so funny. I remember going to Philly, and my friend Zeb was there, and I remember I kept asking, like, where's Jimmy Chung? Are we going to see Jimmy? Like, because I see the video, so I don't know anything. I'm thinking this dude's skating all the time, and he's like, he doesn't skate. And we went to a Burger King, and he's like, hey, you know what? You got your wish. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's Jimmy Chung not skating outside. And he was like just walking around with all his dope gear on, like just walking, and that was funny.
That's really funny. Yeah, I didn't see him forever, and then he showed up at the one contest I was running in Westchester, and Vern pointed him out and was like, why is Jimmy Chung here? He's like, I haven't seen that dude in 15 years. And then we just started skating together.
It's really cool because he just loves doing it, and it's like, now I'm having fun.
And wants nothing out of it, just happy to be skating
and killing it, and like better
than so good.
Insane. Like that one with the Manual Impossible, and it was like 30 years ago, and it was like, so much better now. It was amazing. So Jimmy Chung, and Jada was the worst. I'll say that again. The worst. We got more questions here. All right. Okay, Mimosa, again, another one. He's just trying to stir the pot here. Favorite DOA rider on now? Herb.
Not Connor White.
Not Connor. Oh, that was
he's off the team, so
yeah, that's not on anymore. It's going to be Connor White, right, for the other one, and Herb, definitely Herb. I'm going to have some angry people now, but it's Herb. Herb's my favorite.
I'm a big fan of Chris.
Oh yeah, Saint Hilaire. He's yes, I agree. I wish I could like, it's a small brand, so there's like things that go into it, and I really wish like I was better at I guess being a businessman or whatever, to have more money to like send these dudes on trips and like actually, because it's funny, like I know what they're all capable of, but it's like it never can fully happen because you need somebody to document them and film them, and it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah. I mean, you support them the best that you can, but I mean, they know what they're getting into, getting involved with a brand like this where it's smaller.
Oh boy, do they. I hope they do anyway. Yeah, it's like I want to again, I just know all these dudes are so good, and it's just setting up, having money to go on trips and have one set person film them while they're on that stuff. And it's the hardest part, because I'd hope everybody would see how good, a lot of these dudes are. But yeah, Chris, Herb, I mean, I don't think there's anybody I don't like. That's changed. It used to be like a lot I didn't like. Now everybody's pretty damn cool.
No, everybody's awesome.
Yeah, nobody's a pain in the ass. I also don't know how
Well, especially now that we got rid of Connor.
yeah, well, Connor was like the whiny. He was a diva, that Connor
Yeah.
White. All right, cardigans and whiskey, boblets. Here we go. When are we all skating Long Island spots? Hopefully never.
I had fun that day.
Yeah, it's like you get these local spots. So I live out on Long Island. You get these local spots, and to me, it's like this is the worst. But there's some where we have Roslyn, so people always like to check that out. But then, like you said, you came out and you're like, oh, this is all really cool. And I'm sitting there like, these spots are terrible. Like, you guys must have had the worst time, but you guys seem to have fun. It's
anything new.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take that Boblet note and turn it around, and we're going to go with him and go skate DC and Baltimore this summer for sure.
That sounds awesome. That's even better.
He's from down there. He'll take us around.
I remember I went to Baltimore for one day. I went with Willie and Willie Stackis and Dykes. They met up with me and they took us around, but it like rained. We skated a little. We went to that wire spot. That was insane. That was like really cool. There was like tons of people skating there.
Yeah, that spot was cool.
Yeah. It was, but it was a cool day. And I was like, again, it was like one day. And I was like, man, like there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, Kai used to drive down there all the time, and I would just, for some reason, never lined up to go. So I think I've only skated there like 3 times.
It's really, and it's like kind of close, kind of.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours from me, like nothing crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, man, this is like really cool. We took a plane to DC. Yeah, and I was like freaking out because I hate planes. But yeah, so I spent a day. It was an hour train from DC to Baltimore. All right, so let's see. P-Bras, Pat. Let's see. He's asking, when are you going to fire Mitch and hire Dave Scoot? That could happen.
He knows way more about boards than I do.
And yeah, you guys could fight over board collections.
He's got me beat.
Yeah, I think we could just bring Dave in. I think that kind of has to. The world needs more Dave Scoot.
He needs to be on this podcast.
Oh, yes.
But it'll have to have subtitles because we love Dave. But goddamn, the Staten Island is strong in that man.
Very strong. He's like 200% Staten Island. Buttery Toast. Here we go. Responded to your question. Switchback crook. Is he trying to push himself onto like the team rider, the least liked team rider? What does this mean? I love Toast, but what the hell does that mean?
He must be asking you because I'm not switch crook and shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I cannot.
He saw that part. There is no switch in there.
He must be drunk. Matt Pepe 1. Drew and Connor boards, ? Maybe and no. Definitely not a Connor whiteboard.
Yeah.
Connor's not even like on. He's like shop rep flow. Oh, and then again, another one. When's the next Lehigh Valley trip? That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good day.
That day. You left
Just
earlier.
not in the middle of summer.
Yeah, you left when we went. You left earlier, and then we started going into like the city part of it.
Yeah, you guys
We went to
Allentown.
Allentown, I think, and it was really cool. Camty Bursk. They need like audio with these things so you can like pronounce them.
Like, yeah, what's your name here?
Yeah, so Camty Bursk. Toughest thing about having a board company in 2022. Well, the pandemic, which made it awesome for sales if you had boards about 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Now it's the complete opposite, and it's like a nightmare. It is.
I was just talking to somebody about that today. every shop is so overstocked with product.
Yeah. It's wild. Because it's just, you had these brands too, and they don't call to cancel pre-books. You know, and it was supposed to be in 6 months ago, and they're just sending you boxes of boards. And then being in the Northeast too is shitty. That's always a hard one.
How many boards are people really going through in the last 2 or 3 weeks where it's barely above freezing?
Yeah, it's like we had snow and it's cold out. Or if you're skating parks, you're going to go through less boards. That's the hardest part, man. I always think too, the hardest part is brand exposure. It's really hard to get the brand out there. Again, that could fall back on me. I can't, I don't know, but
there's so many brands.
But that's what there is. And it seems like even video hits now, even for the big brands, it's a lot lower. Like, times have changed. I remember when I was doing Northern with my friend Mike, and we were doing that, I remember getting a video on Transworld, and we could get like 12,000 views. And that was like a brand nobody really knew, but it was like, oh, we got 12,000 views, you know, that sounds cool. And now it's like, you know, maybe you get 2,000, 1,000, like, it's a big difference. So I always think exposure, but yeah, the board sales thing, it's like really it's kind of scary. With that said, we have like a handful of boards left in the online shop, which I hate doing, but I don't have that many left. So if anybody wants to buy anything, you can use code Dead Air and get 40% off on whatever the heck's left. There's really not much. If anybody's 3 of you that are listening, 40% off, code Dead Air on checkout, and take the last few decks off of my hands. That would be nice. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Do you have any questions there, Mitch? I'm sure your line's blowing up there. Well, you know what? Before you start, we'll go to another few songs, and we'll be right back.
look, dog, I bought villas, stayed in resort Skrilla. How was Stork Killer? I stalk killers. Man, I caught killers, just on Fort Killers. Cat frontin', pop, pop, court killers. Who more realer? Weed in the four-wheeler. F Mike, till you see me, you never saw a thriller. Fist scale, draw reelers. Dirty whore want me to go. Raw will ya? Smart Pisces, fresh from the archdiocese. You got heart, fight me, ideally depart wifey. I'm Anthony, I do things the harder way. Pardon me, escalate, marmalade, mama stayed. And I send the wolves stars a play. And the do copper car today, color pink Chardonnay. And I clap at your man, got the clappers. Clap on, clap off, clap at his hands. Only thing he ever clapped was his hands. He'll get butt raped, duct tape the Michelin man, bastard. Get in his van, listen to Ken Maggot. Get in his van, listen to Ken Maggot. Listen, let's bring it back. You know why? Cause this is the year where cats get shipped in the van. Visits my fam, listen to man, listen. I miss the era of the BMBBs. I was ducking GMDC. Had that scope, aiming to light ya. Seen all islands, came Mr. Rikers. Contain, detain, maintain, complaints. Maintain rain, the game is for lifers. I don't care, I put the flame in the fire. Christian, atheist, you pray to Elijah. Don't play, okay, just pray I don't snipe you. Cause with the SK, doggy, I'm okay. My AK was my AKA before my ABCs that had me A-OK. I show you how to net 2 million out your deal. For the right price, I can get you out your deal. Smack your CEO, that's when the tech is soaring. 4 mil for Def Jam and I ain't sell a record for him.
Dr. Octagon, paramedic fetus of the east with priest. I'm from the church of the operating room with the strikes of force, scalpel since the Holocaust. I do indeed and greed, explore, meet the patients, back to rooms with the nurse with the voodoo curse. Holding up office lights, standing at huge heights, back and forth, left wing, swing to north, east and south with blood pouring down your mouth. I come prepared with the white suit and stethoscope, listen to your heartbeat, delete, beep, beep, beep. Your insurance is high, but my price is cheap. Look at the land. Blue flowers, growing by the purple pond. See the polka dots. Blue flowers, growing by the purple pond. Yellow indigo. Blue flowers, growing by the pond. Look, it's raining yellow. Would you care to listen to any more? Thank you. Holding bags on down right from the hospital. It's a patient's work to keep the germs off the turf. Cybernetic microscopes and metal antidotes. 2 telescopes that magnifies eyes of a roach. 3 computers, a cup of coffee planted with my hand and astral planet detached. Turn on rare foggers. Cut the light on the kid and turn it bright on. Supersonic waves combined and burn his brain waves. I see the mascot of evil. He's not Knievel. Shakespeare's gone. Don't even think about him. Yes. As I go into the park, I see blue flowers. It's raining green by the pond. Blue flowers. It's totally raining green and pouring. Blue flowers. I smell the bees and the birds. Blue flowers. Different aspects of life. Blue flowers.
All right, and we're back. So we're gonna answer a few more questions. Dave, wait. All right, here we go. Do you know Dave?
I don't think so.
Oh God, Dave's the best. So Dave runs 35th Ave.
Yeah, that shop seems cool.
Yeah, Dave's the best. He's like, I don't know, he's got to be like 46, and he still kills it. He's skates every day. He's an inspiration to us all.
Love that.
Who is / was the better skater? You or Tim at Bob Shirt? Oh, that's Bob Shirt all day. Timmy was like
Bob
the
Shirt.
best. Yeah, that's like not even a question. He could kickflip, and it's better than anything I've ever done. Tim, Bob Shirt. We're gonna be doing a collab with Bob Shirt. That's like, so now
I wasn't sure if that was going out there or what, but
that's fine. Yeah, so I double peaked. I was actually shocked Tim was down to do it because he posted a board. He has like a fake board Instagram. I think it's like My Fake Company. And he posted this one board, and I was like, can we do this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, no way. It's like, all right, cool. So that was pretty awesome. It's a take on an old 101 Geno board.
One of the best ones.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That board. Did you have it? Did you ever have any of those boards like around that time? Were you riding world boards and stuff? Or like,
I had the Jizza one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. That was like the board. I never had that.
Oh, yeah. I was such a Wu-Tang dork that like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need to have that.
We all wanted it. It was just like whatever the shops by you got, you know? And we never had that one. Man, that was the board, man.
There was this shop in Ocean City that was called D's Skates. Like just like the fucking D's Nuts joke, but way before it was a thing. But it was called D's Skates. And it was like this little like bottom of a house. Like you'd never know there was a skate shop there. It's like the dude lived in the back of it. Like it was sketchy little like shop. I bought my first 401 there, but they always had, because those dudes were like right in the mix of like all that like really cool world, girl, chocolate, like all that shit. That was all they sold.
Wow.
So like they always had the coolest boards in there.
What number 401?
12.
Wow. It's just, I remember when one came out, it was me, my friend Chris, and this kid, Mike Toth, and he barely like skated, but we all pitched. He's like, he was even more, it's funny, the kid who didn't really skate was like, yeah, there's this, it's a video magazine. It's like a magazine, but a video. And we're like, whoa. And they had it, and we pitched in money to get it. And I think it was,
and they were so cheap. They were like $12.
Yeah. And we were like, you know, this is like, we'd go around, and do you guys have Dairy Barn? Did you ever have that?
Mm-hmm.
So we had these things out here called Dairy Barn, and it was like a red barn, and you drive up and you place your order, and they give it to you while you're in your car. It was like a drive-through Quickie Mart, kind of like a convenience store. But I remember like, so back then it was like we'd go skating with like $2, and you'd buy a gallon of iced tea from there for $1. And then, you know.
Oh, yeah, we had the Wawa box, cardboard box iced teas.
Yeah.
You can see one in the Sub-Zero video when Freddie goes to like 50 that handrail right at the very beginning of his part and eats shit and just sticks. There's one like sitting on the steps of the thing. I'm like, oh my God, we used to carry those around. Like, it's like a cardboard container, not even like the plastic jug.
Yeah.
Like a cardboard container of iced tea.
Yeah. It's like a milk carton.
Yeah.
You
just carry it around all day.
But the good old days. So we had no money. So it was like, oh, what do we got? And three of us pitched in. And, you know, that never works. Two of those people definitely aren't getting that video. The good old days.
Yeah, I remember I got that one, and then 13 came out like a week later or something. So it must have been like the end of 12. So I got both of those right after each other. So 13 was that Philly Metrospective.
That's what I was going to
So I like marked down on that so hard.
Oh, so good. Man, it's so crazy how those went from like the best things in the world to like now they don't even exist.
Oh yeah, by the end it was unwatchable.
Yeah, they became so bad. There was the one with the Chico part that was kind of cool. Oh man, so Dave's on a rampage. If you could poach one rider for DOA from another brand, that's an interesting one.
Oh man,
yeah.
I'm like looking at my wall, like who's really cool?
Yeah, like who would fit? Because it's kind of weird. Like you get somebody big, like would put JB Gillett on. Like that doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, you know, my answer is gonna be Wade.
Yeah,
like, it wouldn't even be a question. But
save them from Primitive, from those big checks.
Save them from those giant paychecks.
Those giant paychecks that let them still skate so we can watch them. Yeah, take that away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, man. I don't know. Because there's such a big thing. Is this such a weird one-time answer? You know what I mean? I'm going to say I'm happy with who I have. I'm going to be politically correct here, and I'm happy with everybody I have, and I don't think we need anybody else to make the team any better / or worse. So
Who would be a guest board that I'd love to see?
that's a good one. I'd love to do a Chico guest board.
I want
I'd
to
put
fucking
Chico on.
Pete Eldridge.
Oh, yes.
Pete Eldridge.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Pete's the best.
I asked Joe Face once. I was like, "You hang out with this dude. Ask him if he'd do a guest board." And I'm sure he just was like,
Yeah, for who? What?
"Yeah, what?" Let's see if you could post. He's got more, so they're gonna keep coming. Biggest pet peeve, trick, spot, etc. Phillips hardware is my biggest pet peeve. I hate people who have Phillips hardware.
Black wheels.
Black wheels. Yeah, and I see
Black wheels are the biggest violation, and they're so hot with like the Supreme crowd now.
Yeah, it's so weird, and it's like I just remember them being softer. So it was even like how they rode wasn't the same.
They just look. Your board looks like a Toys R Us like toy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, and they're just crappy. But I think that whole goofy, haha, it's fun, crappy. I look like I'm like Blink 182 is like cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I make a joke out of it, it's cool. I don't know, man. That's so weird. You know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, the colored wheels is worse than Phillips hardware.
Not all the colored wheels. I don't like it. I've never ridden any wheels that aren't white, but I don't hate it as much as I hate the black ones.
Oh no,
the black ones are like the line.
Anything you got to have either like you can go Formula 4 as colored's going to be, and then white wheels, but not like the Dark Star plastic white. Like you don't want that either. Have you seen those cheap?
The Kai Reeler Special?
The Kai Reeler Specials.
With the Dark Star medallion that comes with it?
Oh, God. But you know they're like those white wheels. They just look like fake.
Mm-hmm. They're too white.
Yeah. Like that's almost as bad. But not really. Colored wheels, God, that's horrible. Because you got to roll around on that. That's your
it's by far my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, that's bad. So what else we got here? Pet peeve, trick. Pet peeve, trick.
Oh,
see, tricks are a weird one because any trick can just about be done to. I hate like late flips,
double flips. I don't know anyone that's done a double flip that I've enjoyed. Like the most stylish kid, like Mark Johnson has a double flip in fully flared, and it's disgusting. I don't care.
Tim O'Connor did one down the Banks 9 that wasn't horrible.
I don't know. It's just something about it.
Yeah, it's just not cool. Like, yes, that's one, like double flips.
It's just not aesthetically pleasing. Like, look at
grips. I mean, like, there's so many. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like,
just the one that bugs me the most.
Dark slides. I'd say that's serious.
Dark slides.
Yeah. That gets me more because I'm like, your grip's going to be ruined. How do you do this?
You got to ride that rubber grip.
Oh, my God. Oh, biggest pet peeves, trick, spot, and etc.
Spot. Oh, man.
You know what I hate? This is one, is when they wear the key on the belt loop. And they tuck in the shirt and you just see this stupid little key. Like, I
think it might be the tucked in shirt over the key that.
Yeah. I just hate that key. I'm like, if you fall, it's going to jab you in the side and you're going to die. Oh, Dave keeps them coming. So good thing for Dave, we have content tonight. Favorite local skater growing up and currently? Mitch, who do we have there?
Local skater. Man, that's a tough one.
Favorite one growing up. This is like, we can get into totally like nobody's going to know who we're talking about right now. You know what I mean? Because there's always, when you start, you have that hometown hero who's like, that's the dude who's the best. And then like 2 years in, like that dude quit already.
Do you know who I met when I was a super young kid because he was living in the Northeast? Right by me do you remember Dave Moyer?
No. Was he a freestyler? No.
No. He's like he rode for New School for a little while. He's like a city guy. He was like friends with like JR and those guys.
He was good?
Dude, Pat Corcoran.
Oh, wow.
He's from my neighborhood.
Is he younger than you?
Yeah. He's a good bit. He's probably like 5 or 6 years younger than me.
Wow. Okay. But he was super good and then poof, gone.
But yeah, he was just over it. Walked away from everything. He was at one of our video premieres because he grew up and was like really good friends with the dude Sean that cuts my hair. He has a part in the video, and Pat came to the premiere.
Wow.
So it was one of those things where it was like, oh, what the hell? Like, why is this dude here?
Yeah.
but it's cool to see him.
Yeah, he was super good. But it's crazy because he was set up where he could have made money.
But yeah, I think that like workshop pigeonhole, like he was their handrail guy because nobody else was like a handrail guy.
Right.
And he was so damn technically good. Like he could skate ledges and he would skate love with those guys all the time. And like, but I think he had one love line in that whole video.
Right. So,
and they just like kept wanting him to like jump down shit and he kept getting hurt and he was just over it.
yeah, that sucks because he was good. It was kind of cool because he was like the hood dude on. It was like, this is kind of cool. You have
Which is funny because he's like from my neighborhood. It's not very hood, but.
Well, I don't need to know these things. I can remember them as
But I mean, he was also like a 14, 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, he was.
He went. I know he went to school in the city. He went to one of the Catholic schools, so he was already downtown. So he'd be at Love every day after school.
Yeah, wow. But just so
That's
wild, like, you know, if you think back then, like he was getting shoes from DC, like on workshop, and then it's like, you know, this is crazy. So he doesn't skate at all anymore?
No, not at all.
Wow. So we had, I guess, I want to say growing up, I guess when I first started like going to the city and stuff, there was this dude, John Coppola, by us, and he was like the best. Like the Banks 9, he switch flipped and landed and like curved into the roller coaster and fell, and like switch 360 flip, landed the Banks 9 and shot out. And like,
wow.
Yeah, he was super good. It's funny though. So like we would see him, and me and my friend were like this. We'd never seen anybody like this. And I remember skating spot to spot in the city. He would just do flat ground tricks, like switch frontside flip, nollie flip, 360 flip, frontside flip.
Like on the way to spots?
Yeah, and just he wouldn't mess up. And his style was a little interesting, but he was super good. And then he still, I'm going to send you like his Instagram now, because he's got to be our age, Mitch, and he can still like, he's older than me, but he's doing like 360 flip nose blunts on stuff like
what
backside nose. It's crazy. He looks like he fell out of like a Blink 182 video, but it's insane like how good he still is, like trick wise. But that was like the dude like when I was growing up. So there was a girl demo at this skate shop called Danny's Rideaway. It was a bike. It wasn't even, it's like a bike shop that sold skateboards.
Oh, I remember hearing Theo talk about it or somebody.
Yeah. And so we were there and there was a girl demo, and it was such a bad demo. Like there was no ramps. The parking lot was trashed. Like it was just like bad pavement. So they didn't skate. It was like girl chocolate. And then Lance Mountain was there. And Coppola did a demo like himself, this dude. He just, like, he was having people like put up cardboard boxes and ollieing these big, huge boxes and, you know, just skating. And Lance Mountain went up to him and was like, here's my number. Here's a board. Call me. And I remember we're taking the bus back to his house, and he saw some kid at the demo on the bus, and he's like, yo, you want to buy a board? $20. And we're just like, Lance Mountain gave you that. And he's like, I don't care about Lance Mountain. He's like, I would ride for girl or nothing. And that was like his mentality. So he sold the board. And that was it. But that was our like hometown, like local dude on Long Island.
It's crazy to see guys that like have aged and gotten better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he was ever on your radar, if he was just local enough. There was a black dude, Kenyatta Larimore.
I remember he got boards from Blind.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
So he popped up on Instagram again a couple, 3 or 4 years ago, and I started following him. And we talk every once in a while, but he got so good and still skates. Like skates his ass off. Like he skates a lot. And he's still so good. And he's got to be my age or older.
It's crazy. It really is. Let's even like Kai. Kai's still good.
Oh, Kai's super good.
You know, he doesn't have Boblets, but Boblets is still young. I can't call him old.
He's like 35, right?
Yeah, that's like toddler age, you know? Got to hit the 40. Yeah. And, you know, but there's these people that, yeah, it's wild though, seeing some of these dudes that are old, and it's like, wow, you can still do all this stuff. Like, age is just a number, man.
I remember I started filming a part when I turned 30. I think it came out when I was like 32. And I was like, well, this is my last part. Like, I'm done skating at this point. And I think it's been like 4 parts since then.
It's funny.
Like, I filmed more since I turned 30 than I did when I was younger.
Yeah, you don't get it out of you. And, you know what I mean? It's like you think, though, but totally, because you don't know what's – I mean, God, when I was a kid starting skating, like I didn't think you skated past 20. And then you hit 20,
Yeah.
and it's like, you don't skate past 25, right? Is there still skating? You see it, and it's like, oh, well, now I'm 30. When does this stop? And, you know, you're into your 40s, and it's like, no, this is never stopping.
The one skate park used to have old man nights, and you had to be 18 to skate it, and it was like from 9 to midnight. And like, imagine being like we look at the 18-year-olds now and be like, oh, when he gets older, he'll learn.
Yeah, that's so funny. Old man night, 18 and out.
Yeah. But there was just nobody under 18 that was allowed in, so it was great because you didn't have to deal with all the little kids and skate the park.
That's nice. All right, what else we got here? Best, Dave Wade again, best new trend. Like,
and is there a trend I'm
into
right now?
The frog kids with the Jenkos, like, I don't know. I hate best new trend. Well, best new trend is the old dudes still killing it. Chico. That's a trend. The old dudes skating, putting out
Tiagos.
Yeah.
Tiagos are the new
Tiago's
trend.
There we go. The Tiago 1010, definitely. What else we got? Ralph Fillion. Do you know Ralph?
Yeah, we follow each other on Instagram.
Ralph's the best. Best backside tail slides. Favorite East Coast brand from the 90s?
Unofficial East Coast brand. Bootleg?
Yeah, it kind of is, huh?
Might as well have been.
Might as well have been. Totally. That's a good one.
I mean, like, Alyssa's from Florida. I don't know if that counts as East Coast.
If you're from Florida.
That's a debatable topic. But yeah, everybody on the team pretty much.
Besides Anthony Mosley, I mean, he doesn't count.
Yeah, Scott Kane, but he spent so much time out here.
Yeah, Bootleg was really cool.
That was great. You know, the Bootleg house was right behind Kai's house, so he was always seeing those guys and like kind of mixing them with them. So we would like run into them at spots all the time.
Really cool, man. They were so good. Bootleg 3000 was an awesome video. A lot of slow-mo, but it like worked. A lot of slow-mo.
Let me see if I got anything else.
Favorite East Coast brand from the 90s? Is Metropolitan an East Coast brand from the 90s? Capital? I'm going to go with Capital. That's where I'm going to final
The first demo I ever organized was a Capital demo.
Was it Capital Nate Sherwood?
No. It was cool. It was summer 97.
Okay, cool.
It was Chris Keefe, Pepe, Andy Stone, and
was it Kevin Taylor? No,
KT wasn't there.
And no Carlos Kenner.
No, it wasn't Pooch.
Ige?
No, Ryan Hickey.
Ryan Hickey. Oh wow, I had a Ryan Hickey Capital board.
The green one.
Yeah, it was green with like the Irish stuff on.
The shamrock looking thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had that board.
P-Braz gave me the worst unanswerable question we can't even use.
He seems to have a knack for this.
Fuck, marry, kill. Andy Anderson, Steve Barra, Andy Roy.
Oh my God. I can't.
It's an unanswerable question.
Yeah. God. Pat needs to get some hobbies. Top 5 videos only released on VHS. Now, does that count if they did a remake and like...
I think as long as it came out on VHS.
We'll play that one.
Or are we going like... Oh no, VHS.
It's like I could go like, well, Aesthetics Ride or Die. Did that ever come out on DVD?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, you do. See, this is wow.
But because there's some I can't even say like, oh, it was in that bubble of like. Yeah, it came out at the same time.
Yeah, because all those old H Street videos came out eventually on DVD. The old Plan B videos, right? They have boxes.
Yeah, all right. So let's go. If it came out on VHS originally.
Okay, we can do that.
So. Eastern Exposure 3.
Really? Is that your number one?
I don't know if it's my number one, but it's definitely in my top 5.
Definitely a very influential video. Totally. Static 2, I always throw in there. That's with Pulio.
Oh, yeah.
That was like a game changer just for me and outlooks of skating.
Is that the same one that the Rick and Damien and all that? Was it the same part?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Philly 4.
Yeah, that was
no one was from Philly.
Yeah, that's so funny. Ige had a part. That's why I got the video. I was like, oh, there's an Ige part in this. And I remember watching it, and I was like, wow, Pulio's amazing. So that's 2.
Photosynthesis.
Yes, definitely. So I'd put a Trilogy in there For me,
Yeah.
it was like that was just like the end of like, you know, that great era of world. See, it's weird when you get, because now it's VHS, so it's like Fit Credo. See, I could put that in there for mine. The
Yeah.
Tantrum video, like that's just one of those videos I just remembered.
Oh yeah, where I would go Penal Code.
Oh, but that's a good one. Yeah, dude, that's a good one.
I'd have to put Penal Code and Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, definitely. I miss those days of like, it was like a video came out and it was like, I gotta get this.
I watched it a million, and it's not East Coast as it is, but I think Welcome to Hell. I watched that video so many times.
Well, we did too, and it wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was like rushing out to buy a toy machine, but I remember I liked Heavy Metal with Kalis.
Oh yes, I didn't see that one until later.
Yeah, that one was that was the first toy machine video I saw, because I remember this kid AJ I knew in Connecticut. I went to go skate with him. My dad drove me to Connecticut. You know, I was probably like 15 at the time, and the kid's like, he loved Toy Machine, and I was like, why do you like this Toy Machine crap? Like, you know, like get a Menace sweatshirt or something, you know? And he's like, no, there's this dude Josh Kalis, he's the best. And I'm sitting there like, it's Toy Machine. Like, there's gonna be nobody cool in this. And he made me work with Kalis's part. And I was like, whoa.
The code, Jerry Fowler.
Yeah. But I was blown away. I was like, this dude's the best.
Yeah. Where it was like, I had Welcome to Hell came out, and this dude that worked at the surf shop down in Ocean City, he would like put me on the new interesting stuff. This dude, Paul Bowman, and he like barely skated, but was in the mix of everything. Like he would have that shop that like was all these surf kooks, but he always had them have cool skate shit. Before, and like eventually I wound up taking over his job because he left, and they needed a skate buyer that was kind of in the know.
Right.
But like he had, I mean, it was like 97, 98, and he had like rookie boards in there. Like he had cool, weird stuff that like,
right,
you
not
know,
like
the average person that was going to like Eastern or whatever to buy all their skate stuff wouldn't have.
Right. That was always cool with like, I always liked when you'd have these, like a variety of everything, you know?
Yeah, I remember like thinking about like cool boards that sat there forever. Like I remember there was a Kareem board that they couldn't get rid of. It was the one with like the African girl with all the rings on her neck, and her neck was like super long.
Yeah. I remember that.
Dude, that board sat there for like 2 years and wouldn't sell.
I remember going to, when we, with Tim from Bob Shirt, and we'd go to Boston, and there was a skate shop Positive there. And
he just posted a sticker from them today.
Yeah, and we'd go, and it was cool because, dude, Roger was always cool. Because when Tim would go, I think, and if we came down with him, like Tim was always like, we're the only ones who buy this shit. He's like, everybody else there was more like toy machine, like, you know, the locals. They're like, and Tim would go and like, he's like, yeah, they like make fun of me for buying this stuff, but he was buying world boards. And it was just like, they weren't as into it there. But it was always cool, Roger, though, because he would like, oh yeah, this is cool. I got Trilogy. I remember getting Trilogy, and like he was like, yeah, I'll hold you one to Tim. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
This one, okay, Dave Wade again. You might have to help me with this. You're a little hipper than I. Who has the best bots in skating, skater and or brand? You think that's a typo?
I was like, yeah, who's got the best bots? I don't know. Who's clearing out your dunk inventory?
Yeah, best bots in skating, skater and or brand. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Dave. We'll go to the next one though, because Dave.
Sorry, we're old.
Yeah, Dave Wade again. What is the best ledge trick?
The one that I can't do. Back tail.
Really? Yeah, that's up there. I always think fakie crooks, man. I wish I could fake it.
Like anytime I go to like the park just to like mess around and I see Tom back tail for 6 years on that ledge, like it's like, I don't understand. I can't even get it to go. Like
Isn't it funny? Yeah.
But like he just goes and sits in it like he's like falling asleep.
That's my friend Max Roulette. Like he'll just stand on it. And it's like, how do you do
wild?
That? Yeah. Cuffed up twice. Nick Moore. All right. Worst video part. Oh, this is a good one now. So do we need like God.
Wait. Sorry, one more time. What was it?
Worst video part. I'm going to say it was that Pat Pasquale one when he skated to like the electronic dance music.
Ooh.
That was really bad. Any Chris Markovich part I could throw in there. I can't stand that guy. I never liked that dude. Man,
that's a There's so many that I don't even.
Chad Fernandez parts, like I could throw those in there, like those the
Pretty much anyone that you skate to your own music.
Yeah, I got into it with somebody the other day about Gershon. I don't think Gershon did. He did skate to his own song, didn't he? Didn't he like singing poetry or something? That Transworld part, it wasn't him, but I was telling somebody like, Gershon skated to himself rapping, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, oh man.
Yeah. See, leave it to Nick.
It's almost even hard to like think of something because I just try to forget about stuff that I can't stand like that.
But it's like you could, I mean, the easy ones like, oh yeah, anything Jeff Wan's song put out, like those are all terrible. But Tori Pudwell parts, those are all terrible. Like
But he's another one that can backtail forever. So frustrating.
Yeah, it's just God, he looks terrible.
Oh yeah.
So it's
like inflatable tube man arms.
Yeah, like so. Would you want us to have that style and be able to do that backside tail slide?
No.
You know, I don't. I maybe at this point in life, I might have to do that. That looks like it's fun. Just skate alone, soul skate with that style. You know. Oh man. All right, Kyle Trace. Hey Steve, why do you love Phillips hardware and how is it superior to Allen in every way? Well, that's how you get the block.
These people got you.
Yeah, that's how you get blocked. Yeah, Phillips sucks, dude. I blame like the mall generation of skaters where they're just getting these bulk mall completes with the Phillips hardware.
Oh, dude, I was at the mall the other day for doing something, and I heard this lady talking in the food court, and she was talking to somebody on the phone, and she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "I bought the skateboard, blah blah blah." She's like, "I have to bring it back on Tuesday when there are assemblers in." You don't have one person working that like has the basic knowledge enough to put a skateboard together.
Where did she go? Like the mall? Like,
yeah, she came from Zoomies.
Yeah,
bought a whole setup.
They don't know what the hell they're doing there. Because we used to have a warehouse for my job underneath the mall, and I remember so it's kind of like, all right, I got to get a sheet of grip tape or something, and it's like, sell your soul. I'm going to go and get a sheet of Jessup, and it's funny too because you got to say like, yeah, I want grip tape with no writing on it, and they have to like look. So they used to have this Jessup that it said Jessup on it. I was like, no, I just need black grip tape. Like, and then they're like, well, what do you need it for? And I'm like, for a skateboard. And they're like, oh, you know, because I'm like in my work clothes. They probably think I'm like putting it on stairs so I don't fall or something. But they don't know anything there. It's bad. Can you imagine that though, buying your board in 2022? And that's why you don't go to those places.
A couple of years ago, Louie and I and a couple of the other guys were out filming somewhere, and he was skating this rail and completely shattered his board into two pieces. And it was Black Friday, and I remember we had to go to the mall to get him a board.
Oh God!
Because there was nothing else in the like this area. There's no skate shops anywhere. So we're like, whatever, like just run in, grab something, and we're like, we'll just put it together when we get to the spot. Like I don't want to stand here and do it. And they wouldn't let him leave with a razor blade.
Oh, I'm surprised they would they have let him grip it there? Because I remember, like,
we were just like, we just want the grip and a board, and we'll take a razor blade and we'll go. And they were like, oh, we can't let you do, like, what if you like cut somebody in the mall? Like we're liable, like all this stuff. And it's like, dude, we're just trying to leave. Like, just give me the razor blade. Like he just took it and left anyway. But which is so funny. Like, like clueless.
I remember I was with Tim and we went to some other shop. We didn't go to Positive. We went to another shop. It was in the suburbs, and we were buying boards. They wouldn't let us grip our own boards because of the razor blade. And I was like, are you serious?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one else is gripping my board.
Yeah.
Like there's no way in a million years.
We had a time, this is probably in like 94, 95, around there. And my one friend was like, so we all rode like World 101 blind boards, whatever, you know? And my friend's like, the one kid who would buy blank boards actually was kind of funny. He said this, he was like, yeah, I found this shop and they have tons of world boards. Like, we should go check it out. Like, they have tons of world boards. You're going to be hyped. So we go there. There's not one there. And I had to buy a Mad Circle Scott Johnson. And I was so bummed on that because I was like, I'm going to hate this board. This place sucks. So I'm like pissed because we drove like to the middle of nowhere to go to this magical shop that didn't have what he said it had. And there's only girls working. And I remember this girl was like, now, granted, if it was a girl, a dude, I'm doing my own grip tape. And she was like, oh, I'll grip it for you. And I was like, no, I got it. And she took offense to it. And she's like, why can't I grip it? And I was like, because I grip my own boards. And she's like, well, I could do it. She's like, I could probably do it better than you. And I took the board and I cut it out in one piece, you know, and she really had nothing. She's like, well, whatever. And she like stormed off. But it wasn't anything like that. I just gripped my own board.
Oh,
And now
yeah,
I was like, here you go, try it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's way too personal.
Yeah.
I was telling Heather the other day about, we like had this exact conversation. And I was like, yeah, if you can't grip my board, you might as well like kiss my wife. It's like the same thing. Like just way too much of a personal relationship with this stupid thing.
Yeah, that's like the main part. Like, this is my board, you know? Like, I remember it was funny. Tim from Bob Shirt bought a Pat Washington board, you know, from me off the website. And he's had a thing and he's like, red top, put the grip on for me. And I was like, so I did, you know? And he's like, leave the little stripe on the tail. You know, like the crooked off-centered world stripe. Like, that's what we used to call it. It was funny. So I did it for him. I don't know if he was just kidding. He's probably like, what the hell? You gripped my board?
Yeah, why'd you grip it? That's funny that you guys did it off the tail. I always did it off the nose.
Yeah, well, we did it off the tail because that's what we used to always see everybody do. Like, when the world dudes or whatever would be, or like even Jeff Pang and them, like we'd see them in the city and they'd have that. And that's when it was like, that's so cool. I want to do that. How do I do that? That's me as a dumb kid. Like, how do I put my grip tape on crooked? I don't know how.
Yeah, how do I screw this up but make it look like it's not screwed up?
It was a CCS catalog cover, and Drake Jones was doing a kickflip, and his board's grip tape side, and there was he had it in 4 squares.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I remember like, I have to do that. And I didn't understand you could just put the grip sideways and get the perfect lines and just keep doing that. So I remember cutting lines in the board.
I remember when I was writing that Monkey Business grip, it came in 4 pieces.
Yeah, well, I remember we used to always have that stuff. I liked it because the World Dudes wrote it. So it was like, oh, this is like a new world grip. I remember that. And then it got like real corny.
I don't even remember how it came about, but I became such good friends with the dude Ian that was like their sales guy. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how we wound up, but like he would like come out to the East Coast and like we would hang out for when he was here, like all kinds of weird stuff. But it's like, can't even tell you how that relationship started, but he was the one that was like, there's this new kid. He's really good. Wait till you see, like he's going to change shit. And it wound up being P-Rod.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say Sven Kilchinman. Yeah, yeah. We used to, at the shop by me, we had a lot of monkey stuff. Because when Enrique was on, I was like, oh, Enrique's like one of my favorite skaters. So
when they had the board company.
Yeah. Even the grip, though. We sold tons of the grip. They had the candy. Do you remember they had candy?
Mm-hmm. It was like, they had the best wax ever.
Yeah. And
the monkey poop.
Yeah. And we used to, but I remember that having the candy. And like, that never sold. I think that was at the shop. Like, we'd order it in and like the little kids at the shop would just like.
Oh, I forgot they like sold it.
Yeah.
I remember getting it like early.
Man.
When they would like just throw it in the orders.
See, who would have thought that 2/3 of this conversation would be about monkey sticks? So Kyle also said he's psyched on the pod, happy it's coming back in some form. Little does he know how bad this is going to be. Blatant nostalgia. Why did you put some corny skate influencer in your latest video? Well, that's like Blood Money. He has more followers than me, so if I put him in the video, he can promote the promo, and then maybe people will see it and buy stuff. So it was like, it's Blood Money, Mike, Blood Money. But yeah, that was cool. He came out. So if everybody, whoever, doesn't, there's Blatant Nostalgia. He just steals clips off the internet and plays old video clips on his Instagram page, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good follow.
Yeah, it's nice to see that stuff. So I remember seeing that, and we'd chat and stuff, and he's a character too. So he came out to Long Island. He was in New York, and we met up one day. And I was like, cool, I'll take you to Roslyn. We met at Flushing, and I took him around. It was fun. Is that it? Is that all? Well, you know what? While we wait for some more questions, we'll go to some more songs, and we'll be back.
That was the night everything changed.
Sometimes you gotta fast and back. See, niggas don't know where this shit started. Y'all know where it came from. I'm saying we're gonna take y'all back to the source, the knowledge. Yo.
When the MCs came to live out their names and to perform, some had to snort cocaine to act insane. With the 4 heat rocking on down on the mental plane, the spark the brain with the building to be born. Build up to the track, the what you got. Sick of it, fake niggas get flipped in mic fights. I swing swords and cut clown. Shit is too swift to bite, you record and write it down. I flow like the blood on a murder scene, like a syringe on some wild out shit to insert a shop, stolen art, catch a swollen heart from not rolling smart. I put bad pressure on phony whack rhymes and get hurt. Shit's played like zodiac signs of sweatshirt. That's minimum and feminine like sandals. My minimum table stacks the verse on a gamble. Energy is felt once the chords are dealt with the impact of roundhouse kicks from black belts that attack. Them white bones like cyclones or typhoons. I represent from midnight to high noon. I don't waste ink, nigga. I think I drop megaton bombs more faster than you blink. Cause rhyme thoughts travel at a tremendous speed through clouds of smoke of natural blends of weed. Only under one circumstance, as if I'm blunted, turn that shit up. My clan in the front wanted. Now when the MCs came to live out the name, and to perform, something had to snort cocaine to the act the same. Before he rocked it on, down on with the mental plane, just to spark the brain, with the building to be born. Yo, the RZA flip the track with the what? I'm on a mission that niggas say is impossible, but when I swing my swords, they all choppable. I be the body dropper, the heartbeat stopper, child educator plus head amputator. Cause niggas styles are old like Mark 5 sneakers. Lyrics are weak like clock radio speakers. Don't even stop at my station and attack while your plan fail. Get the rail like Amtrak. What the fuck for? Down while law make law. I be justice. I sentence that ass 2 to 4. Ran the clock. That state pen time. Check it. But the pens I'll be sticking with, you can't stake the crime. Came through with the woo, slid off on the DL. I'm low key like seashells, I rock these bells. Now come aboard, it's Medina bound into the chamber, and it's a whole different sound. It's a wide entrance, small exit like a funnel. So deep it's picked up on radios and tunnels. Niggas are fascinated how the shit begin. Get vaccinated, my logo is branded in your skin. When the MCs came to live out the name, to your and to perform, some had to snort cocaine to act the same. Before he rocked it on, now on with the mental plane, just to spark the brain with the building to be born. Yo, RZA fit the track. What the fuck is it? The phone is the
Yes. The name of this shit here is Le Fleur, Le Fleur. Escorcha, the Fab Five.
Yes, yes, y'all.
Yes, y'all.
See how this yell to be the best, y'all.
Best, y'all.
5 slam from east to west, y'all.
Best, y'all.
Pound straight through your bubble vest, y'all.
Best,
and
y'all.
shake your chest, y'all.
Chest, y'all.
I caramba, stirring, gun clap a number. One on the set, man, I cut you like lumber. Still play the back in my thunder gear, down to my underwear. Make all your motherfuckers wonder where I come from. Cause motherfuck Dapper Dan, I'm a gun clapper fan. Plus I run rappers mad. Fat 5 mad live, blow up the spot. Drew High gets the paper, Black Moon still gets the prize.
Hey yo, next to snap a neck, be big R-O-C-K. Send MCs to me in squads of 3. Say rockin' this monster as he for really can be. See him in action as he transform that man's me. Enemies ain't caught him, ain't no welcome back in my home. Knots get blown like quarter slots and pay phones. Phone home or return like Jedi. I bet I can without lie give your stupid ass the red
Man,
eye.
I like niggas who can't see past a little bit of light. You come test a champion, you're gonna die tonight. And 6 feet deep is where you sleep. Eternally resting in peace, you feel relief. Now big up to all my true heads in the east. Stalking the block, not leaving the house without the yak. You best to believe that Fat 5 got my back. Like that.
Like that.
I control the masses with metaphors that's massive. Don't ask if the nigga rucker bash it like hashes. I'm drastic. When it comes to verbs, I be flipping. Cause herbs just be shitting off the words I be kicking. I scold you, double-headed sword for the petty. But I told you, bitch niggas that heads ain't ready. Now I mold you back to the bitch that you are. Fucking with the ruckus, get bruised, battered and scarred.
Guess who? Pump, chump, your brain just blew. It's the original gun clapper too. Rushing through 3 on 3, you can't see we cause we stay tight and not too many niggas wanna fight. Since nigga wear a nigga in the cypher of the camp just got amping, so I took him out for a dance. Bigger triggers falling down like the bridges of London, but ain't too many niggas running.
Yes, y'all.
Yes, y'all.
OGC help us yell to be the best, y'all.
Best, y'all.
5 slam from east to west, y'all.
Best, y'all.
Pound straight through your bubble vest, y'all. That shit go chest, y'all. Hey, yo, why did I need cappuccino? Scar on my face, but I'm not Al Pacino.
With three amigos.
Sparsky and Dutch with ring more drama than what?
A primetime NBC TV show. Heads don't know when damn show ain't ready. Niggas walk the streets with more boot than Betty.
Shit to get heavy.
Back up retreat, now surrender. My pond hit your mind, mixed thoughts just like a blender.
Then a dish off from a shooting yard to a center. Like Rockefeller, you hit rock bottom when you enter.
OGC rush the scene, permission for backup. Baseball back attack like Drizzy fools that act up. Punks and facts dip petro. Go get though. Pepto-Bismol before this nigga let
get
go.
Get set, go with you, do. Who screwed? I blew through two crews who claim they got funk may be true, cause they
Everybody afraid, ain't nobody yapping no more. I've evidence on your click, so y'all niggas hit the floor with that mouth murdering. You got that ass in hot water. Now I just order centipedes to your headquarters to take away your strike. You fucked up tonight. You don't do right, you gwine get dead despite. My click foundation stay stick through the war. I'm keeping my eye out for infiltrators at the door.
It's a shame how these MCs are wannabes. Front on knees and get hung up like dungarees. Please ease off, selector, strangle recture, plus bust asses on whoever passes through my sector.
So what you gonna do when you're stuck at 32 degrees? Please get off your knees and follow these. And swallow these. Buck shots from the rifle, then I will make niggas beat it and scream like Michael.
So how many corny MC going try? My strength set shit off like the 4th of July.
Nobody,
why?
Cause everybody is bodies, my brother. I smother a nigga, then the ruck bounce like rubber.
Step to the stage, set the microphone on fire. Yo, desires to call me sire, cause I'm flyer.
Live like wires.
Beast from the east, who is he? When I roar like a grizzly, they say damn, he gets busy.
Yes, y'all. OGC helter skelter be the best, y'all. Slap 5 slam from east to west, y'all. Sound pound straight through your bubble vest, y'all. And shake your chest, y'all. Yes, y'all. 1, 2, 3, rock and rock be the best, y'all. Slap 5 slam from east to west, y'all. Sound pound straight through your bubble vest, y'all. And rock your chest, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. The 3 amigos and Sparsky and Dutch. Yeah. 5-5.
As we say in Eschkoshken, as we say in Eschkoshken, Fla,
We're back. This is Dead Air Radio. Here with Mitch Hartman, myself, Steve Fletch. We got a few more questions, possibly only one. A few more to one question left. Depends how motivated people are to type anything in.
All right, so I got one from Rob Mazzatelli.
All right.
Top 3 East Coast all-time skaters.
See, when they throw the all-time in, that's when it gets...
oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that leaves so much room for error. Because do you go back to like the 80s? Like, is Mike Vallely an all-time East Coast skateboarder? Like, kind of, but I really don't want to put him in there.
Yeah.
See, I just screwed it up for everybody because that like just sucks. But yeah, like he probably should be on there, but I can't do it.
No, I'm going to go my top 3 personal favorites.
Done. What do we got?
All right, so it's got to be Rick. Just based on skating.
Rick Howard, right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so Ricky Oyola, iShod.
Okay.
For newer.
I always forget he's from the East Coast.
Yeah, man, that era of watching him and Tom Asta and Kyle Frederick and all those dudes grow up and be incredible was ridiculous.
Was that like the first batch of dudes who were like superhuman?
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of following that Cole example and like seeing where he took it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he had them like out in the streets and kind of going like saw what he did, and then they build on it from there, and then it was wild.
Yeah, that
was a crazy time.
So we got Ricky Oyola.
I'm gonna go KT.
Yeah.
Kevin Taylor.
That's sick, dude. The ageless wonder.
Yeah, like still amazing.
Yeah.
And he's older than me.
Oh, he's got to be, what is he, 46, 47?
Yeah, I'm going to say he's got to be 45, 46, something like that.
So awesome. So awesome. It's funny, my friend TJ was like, he was saying we trade boards back and forth because we're both like concave neurotic and like trying stuff out. And he had the one with it was like the old world graphic, but it has KT with his fists up and Piglet running off.
Oh,
the
yeah,
like
yeah.
Rocco. But he was like, I have this board. Like, do you want to try it? And I was like, well, I don't want to skate it, but I'll just probably like hang it on my wall. It's so cool. Yeah, definitely KT, man.
It's funny. KT has had more guest boards on more companies than anybody I can think of.
Seriously. Wow.
But I mean, it's one of those things where like everybody loves that dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't know one person with a bad thing to say about him.
Yeah. No, his skating's always been awesome.
Yeah.
Shit. So do I have to pick a different 3 than you? I can do that.
I mean, if it overlaps, but
we're kind of like
I don't see mine.
That's good. So Mike Vallely, I could pick the 3 worst. Definitely Mike Vallely's up there. Oh my God. But no,
Markovich is from Florida, right?
I'm not from Florida, man. I can't count that as East Coast. I'm gonna get so much shit for that.
I'm just opening up that can of worms for you.
Oh God, Markovich. Clyde's from Florida. Clyde's sick. Clyde skating was cool, but what do you got? So you got Gino, right?
Yeah.
You got Gino. I would throw him on there. That's just like Long Island.
I would say you got to have that Long Island. Same way I'm biased.
Yeah. Rob Welsh. He's from Maine.
Yeah, he's from Maine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be somebody like. See, I'm grouping like the same time period. I feel like that's like a no-no. Damn, dude. Because yeah, Ricky's such a. Whether you like him or not as a person, like it's just that skating is so, and it was East Coast, like
like literally like the embodiment of like everything that was happening, at least here. I don't know about like other cities and stuff, but like he was Philadelphia at that point.
Totally.
Like
Pepe,
there was other shit happening, but damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Pepe. I'll throw Pepe Martinez on there.
Oh, Kenny Hughes.
God. Man, he was the best too. North Carolina, right? North Carolina,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, man. Like real crazy. But Pepe was one of those dudes. I remember like seeing him, and it was like, this dude's the best. Definitely didn't have as long of a run as he should have, man. He was like, see, that sucked too because he moved to San Francisco, and that like, then it was like, oh, but it was cool with him at Pulaski skating on the East Coast. Like that's what was like the coolest about him. I don't know, is Kareem Campbell East Coast? Like that's a weird one because he's from New York and then moved to LA. Rodney Torres. There's a lot of people, man.
My personal is way up there. J.R. Neves.
Yeah, he was super good, man.
Yeah. I was going through like a magazine the other day and I saw an old like Sessions ad with him in it. And he just looked so fucking cool. Like at that point, like he was like on the cusp of like what all those Baker dudes were doing before or like right when they were doing it, but he wasn't part of that crew. So it was cool to see his like twist, like painting his shoes and like tight ass jeans and all that stuff. But like in that era when it was,
I remember being in New Jersey and then he was at some contest. There was this park with all these metal ramps. And I want to say, I remember seeing that dude Omar Alverio and Tony Montgomery there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name of the park, but I remember going there as this contest and like he won like the sponsored or whatever division. And I remember somebody filming him with his line, like following behind, filming him with a camera during his contest line. I remember I've never seen anything like this before. This is insane. And, but he was amazing. Like didn't miss a beat. Switch frontside flipping the pyramid at the place. And it was really cool.
Yeah. When I worked at Vans, the girl he was dating was the manager there. So he was there all the time. And just watching him just like, go skate for like 3 hours and just skate the whole time. And just because it was like the mix of like, oh, he skates transition really, really good. And then he can go and skate the street section really, really good.
Yeah.
But he just never got that shit. Like he was never like a motivated, like filming in the streets. Like he should have had more parts than he did.
Yeah. And he was on that weird time of stereo when it was like, shouldn't have been
cartoony graphics.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was a weird time, but there was good dudes on it. That's what's so funny. Like I think Sean Mullendore was on it then.
Like
Pete. Oh, Sean Mullendorf. I'm just gonna change my list to Sean Mullendorf. Pope Ankle Roll the Fourth. Who has the best?
Oh, okay.
Who do you know who that is?
But yeah, he's got a shop out, Smart Collective out in like Portland. I can't think. Joel.
Oh, look at that. So he knows Vegan John.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's funny. But who has the best fakie flip?
Oh, so do you know what this dude's their thing is? That World Inferno Fakie Flip Society?
No, is this? Oh, this is something this dude does.
Yeah, they have like this thing where it's like just all about fakie flips.
Oh yes, it's on his thing. The World Inferno Fakie Flip Society. It's Josh Kalis.
Yeah, in that one line in Chicago.
That's
or
it.
No, at Seaport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Or Travis Stenger from that was
Top Dollar.
Antisocial video. Travis
okay.
Stenger in the friend section. It's funny. Me and my friend Lorenzo. Did you meet Lorenzo?
Yeah.
So
a couple times.
Right. So me and my friend Lorenzo, when he was he lived in the city for a little bit. He subletted out this like half of an apartment, and we go skate. And I remember we were like watching the Antisocial video, and there's in the friend section, Travis Stenger. We were like always like, who is this dude? And he does this fakie flip, and it's just like glued to his feet. It is the coolest thing. And I remember we would just rewind it. We were just literally sitting there rewinding it, like how, just on flat at the end of a line.
So those two have amazing flat ground down shit. Tom Asta has one in like a subway. It's either in like a subway or a hallway or something in New York in his going pro for mystery part. And Ronnie Kessner has the best fakie flips down shit. They're incredible. Like that kid he needs a board. He's so damn good.
Wasn't he on April? It's like something they'll probably...
Yeah, he's on April. So I'm sure it's in the works. He keeps getting hurt, but he's like the best dude, and he's got to have something in the works.
Yeah, that's fakie flips, man. Because I remember
he's like the nicest kid, good family. I like that kid a lot. But yeah, just got the fakie flips, man. Like that's one of his like go-tos. They're so solid. Like he's got that good catch.
It's such a, to me, that's like such an eluding trick, because that's like such a cool trick. And down anything, street, even what was it, Eastern Exposure Zero, Kareem like fakie flipping over a flat gap like that. Yeah, man, that's a good one. So they have a fakie flip society. There we go. So I didn't add too much to it, because I'm sure the Kalis one is probably like everybody's. Oh, got one more question, Mitch. You ready for this? Muddy Eyes, Harrison Hafner. Worst people you've dealt with while running a brand, and why? Specific stories always welcome.
Oh man, asking for shots fired.
Yeah. Let's see. While running a brand, I mean, there's always people that suck. So here's one. So when Mike and I were running Northern, I remember when we were pretty small. So it was like every shop counted. Like if you didn't get paid from a shop, like it sucked. And I remember we were selling to this shop in Redwood City. Oh God, I forget what the hell it's called. It had like some stupid, like not like circus or something. It was like this guy, and I think he had a barber shop or something, like some weirdo, and he would not pay. And we'd call him and he wouldn't answer. He'd have some story, and we're going on like 6 months, and it was like $400 or something, you know? And that was, to us, that was big, because we got to make the money back. We're small. We're
when you're
boards.
Yeah, exactly.
And the board sold. From what we heard, the board sold. So that's even worse. Like, all right, I get it if we have to take the stuff back, but it's sold. You got to pay us. And this dude had excuses after excuses after excuses. And I remember we didn't hear anything from him until we posted on Instagram, like, don't post. Like, I remember it was like something like we went on his Instagram, like, hey, can you just pay us already? And the dude's like, why'd you do that on my social media? You know, I was going to pay you guys. And it was like this whole thing. And I remember just like, he was giving us these BS stories. And I remember I was like, dude, and he paid. And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to come out to New York and beat you up. You know, and I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Like, we both know you're not coming out here. Like, you couldn't even handle paying me. You're not coming out, taking a flight out here to beat me up. Yeah, I mean, there's the hard part too. Like, you call a store. Like, I used to make sales calls. And like, they're just like, I don't know what the hell you are. I don't want this. I remember calling Exit and in Philadelphia. And I remember the kid on the phone, whoever answered was like, oh, Northern. Oh, Northern's cool. Like, he heard of it, which was already kind of rare. Like, I never really, in the beginning, I didn't get too many people who heard of it. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. and I hear him talking to that grandpa tool, and like
Shit.
dude's like, he's like, no, this stuff's cool. Like the kid was, I heard like he must have had his hand over the phone, and he's like, no, this stuff's cool. Like, and he's like, yeah, he's like, give him the email, like it was like, just put him in like the red file, like, and he's like, no, but it's cool. We should get it in. And dude's like, yeah, just give him the email, like whatever. And like, didn't want to. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to give you the email. And he's basically saying like, nobody's going to look at it. And I don't know if anybody ever did or not. I never got an order, but I heard they suck anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, they don't exist anymore, so.
Yeah, there we go. I would have lost another $400.
I'm not going to hate on Grandpa. I go way too far back, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I can't excuse people's actions.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's me being a diva, like expecting people to take my stuff. But trying to think of like other really, like if I've had any bad, like 100% bad.
My favorite one was I contacted a shop and they flat out said, we don't bother with small brands.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a smart
And it's like a hole in the wall, like might as well not exist shop. Like no one's ever heard of it outside of their, small area. But like a friend of a friend was like, oh, these guys they have a shop. Like you should try and get some boards in there. Like I live near here. I'd like to buy them there.
Right.
And then I got that. I'm like, all right, never going to bother with that again.
Yeah, we're huge though. What are you talking about? We're available in Japan.
We're international.
Yeah. It's man, it's unreal. But I'm really trying to think because I must have some. Oh, all right. So here's one. It mostly goes with Northern. Like with DOA, I kind of expected the worst. But I remember with Northern, there's this dude, Kelly D. Williams, and he had this distribution called Permanent. And he had a wheel company called Broadcast, right?
Okay, I remember. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So when we first started, and it was like, we didn't understand, like, because we knew nothing, like no industry jobs, nothing like that. I worked at a shop, but it was like 10 years prior to starting a brand, And so we're like talking to him, we're like, oh, we need distribution. Like we figured if we got distribution, that meant we made it. Like you get distribution, you can make money. Had no idea what it really meant. And we were talking to this dude and he was like, yeah, I'm kind of interested. And I forget how it started, or he hit us up maybe. And I was talking to this dude, and it took me like 3 weeks of on and off to even get this dude to like finish the setup meetings. He'd be like, I call you because we're on different time zones. I'm gonna call you so it was 9 o'clock for me, like 6 o'clock for him. And it was like 5 attempts over 2 weeks that he was like, oh, I'm busy, I can't do it. Like, you're really that busy, dude? So finally I get him, we're talking, and this dude just sounds like a tool. And he kept like, he was telling us about how like the brand itself, the name is good, but you guys need to change your logo because on a keypad, you can make the little mountain things up and down. So every post, it's like an upside down V. He said like, you can type that. And you know how important that is. And you should change your logo to that. So every post you make, you can end it with your logo. And I'm just saying, he did social media or something, or like he did something for DVS, but like DVS 2.0 when it sucked. Marketing for it. That's what he did also. And he was just bad. And then he was telling me like how he was like, well, I want to how about you take my guy from my wheel company and you put him on Northern, since we're distribution, we should have like shared riders. And the dude looked like he rode on like Death Wish. He had like the Metallica hair. And I was like, dude, no, this dude looks like a Metallica dude. He has those
just not fit.
Like those pink party sunglasses. I was like, no, dude, this isn't going to work.
Oh, like you should ride for Pigwood.
Yeah. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, dude, this just isn't going to fly. Like this dude doesn't fit what we're doing. But I was like, hey, why don't you give some of my dudes wheels? And that, no, he doesn't want to use any of his resources. He wants me to come.
Yeah, of course.
So he could tell his dude, hey, look, I got you boards. Like, see how awesome I am? Yeah, that was like dealing with that dude. And then at the end, he's like, so how many boards do you sell? And it wasn't a lot, I was like, oh, well, maybe we can do like,
just getting started.
Yeah, if we get in 100 boards, like, we can sell through them in, or 200 boards, whatever we were doing. Like, yeah, we could sell them off in like 3 months. And he was like, yeah, I'll call you guys back. So he wanted a board brand bigger than what he was doing, basically. So the board brand would do the work and he could piggyback all his crap off of the board brand, is what he wanted to do. That's what I started gathering. And then he started asking me questions about wood shops and this and that. And then he ended up starting his own board brand format, which is actually like as crappy as like Picture Show is now. It's like that same, it's actually like Picture Show is format 2.0, minus Barrett Waneth. Yeah, that's that was like really bad. I was like, this guy sucks, you know? I mean, Northern, like the inmates ran the asylum. Kind of like those dudes they filmed, they edited it, and they did all that stuff. So it's kind of like hands off. So I don't know if that was, I don't know if it's a good or bad experience. It's just kind of how it was. I don't know. Just like, it's just hard when you get like team riders or you're trying to get footage and you can't get stuff because people have their own projects. But I also understand that, you know, like I'm not going to be able to make the millionaires off of giving footage. So they might as well do their own projects. But that's
spread it around.
Yeah, because you kind of want to, you know, like, well, if I'm giving these guys boards that cost, you know, the brand X amount of dollars every time, like the filmer's not giving them that. So have your filmer buy you boards if you can't film. But, you know, and I'd like to work with the filmers too. You know, I understand that too. So if I can get them tapes or whatever, but then again, I get it. Is it worth it? You know, might as well just keep the shit. But yeah, I don't think I've had anything that I can think
horror
right
stories.
Now. Horror stories, woodshop horror stories all the time, you know?
Half-cent deliveries. And
half-cent stuff, you know, delays, like with all the COVID stuff was real bad.
At least you kind of understand it at that point.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I've been doing it so long, like I know that how the woodshop runs and how it's going to be. Like every time that's a nightmare. Like it never runs smoothly. You know, like even the trucking companies are bad, where it's like I go to it's T-Force now. It used to be UPS Freight, but like I go to the hub to pick it up because the drivers drive past us and they know we don't have a forklift, so they wait and try and push it off to the next guy. Like I've had them like, and they're like, "Oh, we came," and I'm like, "We're open. Nobody showed up." And like, "Oh, you were here at 5?" And like, "Yeah, we were here the whole time," but they don't want to deal with it. So like even that sucks. So like I said, now I just set it up. I pick it up at the hub. All right. So I think that's going to wrap up the first episode of Dead Air Radio. We're going to leave with a few songs after this. Yeah. So that was the first one. Hopefully we'll do some more. Mitch, thanks for coming on. And
yeah, for sure. This was fun.
Yeah. You're like a regular fixture now that you taught me how to do Skype. So
Zoom,
Skype. I'm showing how old I am. But yeah, definitely. So we can do these like once a month or something.
What you doing on our turf, punk?
Got a message for Smokey.
Give it.
You a Smokey man?
Give it.
If you ain't Smokey, ain't your motherfucking message.
Motherfucker, I said give me the message.
It's from Willie in the slam.
Nigga, you been busted.
Yeah, the man picked me up.
Well, I ain't got no fucking time to play with you. Now give me the message.
Willie's in Warwick, doing 1 to 3. Told me to tell y'all motherfuckers to keep cool. He'd be out one way or another, quick. Maybe I can stick around for a while.
No, that's out, man. You know, what can we, the Lords, do with a punk like you?
Kiss my ass, motherfucker.
Burn him.
Just me and you, motherfucker. Just me and you. I put trademarks around your fucking eye.
Yeah, no doubt, this Wally Chan cat. Yeah, shit on this one. Yo, Gambino niggas who swipe this, deluxe rap cavaliers, niggas who steal biz, give them this. Sit back, jollying. My team be gaming like 3-card rallying, drug Somalians, volleying, knitted rap, stay crocheting. Ayo, iron, these niggas portraying, but half be paying. For real, slide on these niggas like fresh beer. Caesar face now, usually tough grenade, throw a blade, fuck getting laid, guzzle this shit like Gatorade, day-to-day Wallies have never half swayed. Connected with the hot stylist, light up a chalice. I run with nothing but the wildest phallus. Come on now, long dick style niggas on the hit out. Hey yo, I ain't bite my shit out. Eventually bust a rap gun mentally, but doing this century, kid, shit's meant to be. Get on your knees and bless me with a gem in the Caribbean. Skiing off white BM. Snatch Canadian cream with Scandinavians, Palladium style. Play it like 32 Arabians. The greatest lesson is don't owe. You might get stolen when I go bury me with below on.
Let me get mine first. Then after I get mine, you can do what you want to do. Fuck 'em up bad.
Show enough, hit the bank and thrust. Who Nauticas, Jamie Summer got trained on the tour bus. We upgrade, swallow raw eggs. Read the label, hitting white label. Left the Winnebago unstable, smooth sailing. Walked in, my earth start nailing, started stealing. I'm too ill, she revealing at the bar. Late kicked up, Max Motion. Michael Bolton magazine quote, I'm too potent. Louisville mixed painkiller rap. Fuck Benadryl, a violin and knowledge guard sounding ill. Tremendously obnoxious, no blotches. My telephone watch to leave bartenders topless. Dead on the prosecutor, smack the juror. Me and my girl to run like Luke and Laura. We sit back on Malayan Islands, sipping mixed drinks out of broke coconut bowls. We wildin'. Sit back, jollyin'. Sit back, jollyin'. Sit back, jollyin'. My team be gaming like green card Molly and drugs, Somalians pop. Sit back, jollyin'. My team be gaming like green card Molly and drugs, Somalians polying. Sit back.
Deep meditation, sound orientated, war the blizzard. Rap paramedical, the wizard. Capadonna, never catering to none. My microphone in 3 verses, way a ton of slaughter. Your order, 5,000 back across the water. My laboratory story keep me flowing with the glory. Acapella or deep dirty instrumental. I could blow the style like the stormy wind blew. 1 gallon of Allen Park Hill profiling. I cut your face above 50 short while you smiling. For violating my position, I leave you smoke like a crackhead on the mission. 2 totes of mic dope, 1 stroke of elegance. Rated like the movie graphic, told intelligence. Person to person, it'd be hard for you to take a trophy. You're better off to get somebody out to try to smoke me. Cause I'm PLOTKO every day. Dancehall general, party fanatic colonel. Capadonna sauna, old school disco infernal. Veteran for rapping with the new set of ruler hard rapping. 96 Java, keep the live crowd clapping when I bow. All praises due to stat now. I spark the mic and challenge, spark the method cow every evening. I have a by myself meeting, thinking who's gonna be the next to catch a beating from my mental slang and bitch and rap twist upon the warfare. I brutalize all competition, catch hell here. Chance 'em, that's what they said, threw up a ransom. I jacked it, stripped the beat naked and packed it. Give me my awards.
Where I wanna get them, I want them got. I want them laying out, I want them got. Cause niggas need to be got. He need to be taken off of here. That's right.